Stream is live.
Everybody, this is Terrible Tim Witherspoon and Bruce Gas, the main man right there, uh, tuning in. Bruce, you should have started. I would have loved for you to start it. Why don't you start it out? Go ahead.
Hey, this is Bruce Gas. I'm here with two-time world heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon. We're going to talk about some people in boxing today, they think it's a sin to have an L on your record. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, man, because an L sometimes, that's not the end of your career. Sometimes that's the beginning of your career. And nobody can tell you better about that than my brother Tim Witherspoon over there.
That's right. Yesterday, like we was talking to Brian and everything, and I was telling him about how I felt when I lost to Marvis Frazier. I was an amateur. This is just a small stuff. Everybody was behind me. They even came to the fight with spoons. Everybody had spoons. Saying spoon. I was an amateur and I lost to him. Then when I came home, I stayed in the house for a couple of days. My mom was like mad at me. She was like, boy, you better get outside and get over that fight. And when I went outside, everybody was happy. Everybody was like, hey, Tim, that was a good fight. 2 days. It was 2 days. I stayed in, Bruce. So it can affect you in all different ways. Losing the fight.
Now, some people never get over it.
I think they got to have the right people around them and that sort of thing. And talking to them. Yeah, some people, you're right, they never get over it. But I got up, man. I got up there and I found out that people were happy. And I just said, whoa, I thought people were going to talk like negative and stuff. So we're going to talk about Rose Namajunas, Ryan Garcia, and we're going to talk about Spence. And if you have a special, some type of negative feeling towards that happened to you, just say it.
Well, see, my idea on that is, I think there's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. That's just the way boxing is. It takes a champion to recover from that loss, because it's going to happen in your career. I mean, we've only had Rocky Marciano, Floyd Mayweather, Joe Calzaghe. You can count them on one hand, the fighters who retired undefeated. And I mean, you yourself, you were undefeated when you fought Larry Holmes. How did that feel after that fight? Did you feel like you learned something, like you were elated, or did you feel depressed?
No, I didn't feel depressed. I felt that before the fight, I knew if I didn't knock him out, that I was prepared for that. I knew that if I didn't knock him out, that I wasn't going to get the fight. This young kid, only been boxing 2.5 years. He's fighting one of the greatest boxers in history, one of them. And so I felt that I did a real good job. I was happy because I did a real good job. Probably if I'd have got knocked out, I probably would have really been depressed and everything. But I did real good, man. I was really up for that fight. So, but I know other boxers that got a negative effect from a loss. You got a Kevin Howard lost to Sugar Ray. He was down for it. He was down. These guys from Philly. We had James Scholler, who bought a motorcycle 2 days after he lost to Tommy Hearns. They said he was depressed. He got killed on a car accident a day after or 2 days after. You have Rose Namajunas. She lost. Spence lost. It's a whole bunch of boxers that lost, and they just have to suck it up and get ready, or be ready before that. And if I lose this and that.
Well, some of the greatest in the world. Philadelphia's Bernard Hopkins. He lost his first fight.
Yes.
One of the greatest in the world, Henry Armstrong. He was knocked out in his first fight.
Whoa!
He won a fight. Then he got beat 3 times in a row. I mean, this, and he became what he became. So it's definitely it's not the end of the world. And let's shout out who came in the room to see over here, Tim. We got Bass B, who's in here. Nathan Carter. Nathan Carter's in here.
Okay. That's Sean Jones.
It says Tim Witherspoon. I don't know who that is out there, man. I think you got a troll train chasing you over there.
Hey Bruce, you got a background noise like it sounds
Yeah.
like kind of like a robot-y weird thing. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it says Bruno lost to Tim for the WB. No, it was the WBC belt in '86, but won the WBC title in '95. Yeah, he came back. You got to have the right people behind you. You got to have it in your heart. You want to be a real fighter. You want to be a fighter that leaves legacy behind and that causes a whole lot of different things. You know, Bruno came back too. Bruno came back after fighting me and won the title. You know, you gotta have the right people behind you, and you gotta have faith. We got Chaz, Dewey.
Yeah, we got
Good to see you. Well, thank you, Chaz.
Chaz Dewey on your Facebook page. You got Shane WM on your Facebook page. Shout out to you. Sean Jones. Huntsman's out there. You got James Payne Davis.
Hey,
Sean
James.
Brady. You got P out there. You got quite a few followers over here, man. And you know, what do you think of putting undefeated fighters in with each other?
I think that they should wait to down the line. Don't put them in. I think that's a good thing, but don't put them in too early. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, let them build their records up and let them build their notoriety up, everything. Then fight for big fights. But there's so many boxers you have to fight I fought an undefeated guy at 5 fights, then at 7 fights, then at 12 fights. Alfonso Ratliff, I fought him at 12 fights, and I knocked him out. I stopped him in the 8th round or something like that. But I thought about that like about 2 weeks ago. I think that they should let a fighter build his way up. But if you have to meet that crossroad, you got to fight. If you're undefeated, you have to go ahead and fight another undefeated guy.
Okay. And let me ask the chat out there. Is my audio okay now? I turned it down on the soundboard.
I can still hear a little
echo,
like air blowing.
That might be my air conditioner. Let me go turn that down. Hang on a second.
Mine's off. I'll take it from here. Yo, champ. Hold on, Tim. Who did you eliminate defensively? Who did you eliminate defensively? You always remind me of Archie Moore. A little with that, a cross arm defense, and how you per shots inside. Okay, you maybe talk like this. You per block and you just leave your hand there and catch those jabs, and then you can move this way. You can move your hand this way on this side of your face like that, but you can bring it up like Joe Frazier. So there's all kind of ways to keep that shell tight. You know, there's all kind of ways you can do that. Yo, champ, I love you. I love you. You, Brian, and Bruce. I respect you all. God bless you, everyone. Nathan Carter, thank you. Who's this? Huntsman. Tim, as a young undefeated fighter, you took a very risky fight against Ronaldo Snipes. Yeah, he said when I fought Ronaldo Snipes, because Ronaldo Snipes was a mover. You know their game plan when I fought him. They kept running from me. He kept running from me. He had more amateur fights than me. He had more experience than me. I had heart. He had heart too. His game plan might not work for him. He was running from me. Everybody was worried about the overhand right. You know.
And Snipes had quite an overhand right himself too, if I recall.
He dropped Larry Holmes. So
yeah,
that was a really good fight. You can read some too, Bruce.
Okay, yeah. In fact, Tim, I gotta comment. You're not wearing your glasses, and you're seeing the chat. Hey, they're in your hand and not on your eyes, and you're reading the chat really well. Chaz Dowie, hi everybody. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Sean Jones says, "Hi, champ. Wishing you all the best. Wishing you happiness, health, and wealth. Why is heavyweight boxing so poor now? Wilder, Tyson, Joshua seem to fight once every 18 months." Yeah, that's something that we definitely have pet peeves on that. I don't know if the fighters are getting too complacent. I hate to say they're making too much money, but it's not like they're.
That's one of the truths. And then that's one of the truths, and the people that's around them causes certain things to happen also. So yeah, when you rich, you have a whole lot of people, but when you broke, you don't have nobody around you. So that could be one of the things too. I wanted. Oh God, I wanted to say the hey champ. I wanted to comment. Okay, Tyson Fury, Wilder. Hold on, hi champ. Hold on, real quick. Sean is hi champ. Wishing you all the best. Wishing you happiness, health, wealth. Why is heavyweight boxing so poor now? Why seem to fight once every 18 months?
18 months. Yeah. It's what we're talking about. It's inactivity. And back in Tim's day.
I didn't know they was fighting like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the Charlo who's Maul Charlo, the WBC middleweight champ, hasn't defended his title in 2 years.
What?
Yeah, 2 years. We only had one heavyweight championship fight all year, and that was Daniel Dubois and Usyk. Tyson Fury has not defended his belt once this year. He's fighting Francis Ngannou, the mixed martial artist, and we're not getting the unification fights. We're not getting the fights that, man, to me it's legacy. Back in your day, you wanted titles. You wanted to fight the best in the division. Today, they just don't have that hunger that you guys had. I don't know what it is.
Well, you think it's the jewelry, the big cars, and the fame they get?
Well, Marvin Hagler said it. It's hard to get out of bed when you're wearing silk pajamas. It's hard to get up at 5 in the morning.
That is good. That is good right there.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you've been dined with kings and queens and starving on pork and beans, so you know the both spectrums of boxing. And when you're living the high life, it's kind of hard to get out there, hit the road at 5 in the morning, hit the gym, keep that diet, stay out of the clubs, stay away from the ladies. It's really a lot of dedication. You know that better than anybody.
Yeah, I had good support. My mom really didn't want me fighting. My dad, he was like, yeah, that's good, Tim. But a lot of people around me, like in the neighborhood, my friends, they were shocked that I was boxing. But I was a sportsman. I wanted to be a professional football player, but I wound up a boxing champion. You can't give up. So and people didn't believe I was fighting. I keep saying it over and over again. But mentally losing in one of these fights, it really takes a toll on some of the boxers. But some of them like get up and brush their hands off and keep on moving, But the majority of the boxers really feel it. I felt a little bit before, but after a while, just started. After a fight, I said, well, he's the best man won.
Oh yeah, our friend Marlon Starling, earlier in his career, they put him up with the undefeated Donald Curry. Marlon was undefeated, Donald Curry was undefeated, and I'm saying to myself, why are they doing that? Why are they putting these? This is the number 1 and number 2 welterweights after Sugar Ray Leonard was in one of his retirements, and they put them in the ring with each other, and it was fantastic. It was a 12-round decision. It was for the USBA, NABF titles. Donald Curry beat Marlon. But after that fight, they both went on to win titles, multi-titles. They were both the best welterweights in the world. So that just kind of goes with our theme of our show. That L, it really means nothing, especially if it's an honorable L. You don't get knocked out. You don't quit. You make a good showing. I mean, it's what rematches are made from. And what do you think? Now that the rematch is official now, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence signed for a rematch.
I can understand that everybody. I think that they're thinking about money. I think Spencer still need to rest his body up and build it. I think Spence need to build his body up a little bit more and get stronger. There was words out that he was damaged a little bit. Now he just got hit again. And they're going to, okay, it's about money. It's about money and not health. I think maybe they should wait a little longer, but then Crawford might fight somebody else if they wait. So they forcing the fight, they pushing the fight, but Spence might still be a little damaged. Might be physically and mentally damaged. But this is the way it is. If they push that fight, if they're going to push that fight, they better make sure that they get somebody to teach him defense and he don't get hit that much. I mean, I'm good with that. They can let him, but and get him right. But they better work on defense for him for this fight and work on his arms, getting his arms stronger so he can catch Crawford's punches. So a lot of guys, we do a lot of hitting, chopping wood, and lifting weights. So in that fight, it looked like when he got hit here, that wasn't really powerful in blocking, And when Bud was swinging on him, it just looked like he didn't have no strength there. When Bud was hitting him, he just broke down. So I would get his arms strong. I would get his stamina. I would get him a trainer that could teach him defense and somebody that he could counter, somebody credible that he could counter off of, boom, counter right back, and really block jabs. Neither one of them was blocking jabs. You didn't see that, Bruce. I was watching the fight, and you never seen none of them like this, just relaxing. Boom, boom. If you got a good defense, you can relax. But if you don't, you be stepping back all the time and all that type of stuff. I like to stand my ground, make them miss, block the punches, and deliver back. So that's what gave me confidence. I knew I could block my opponent's punches. Yep.
So you think you think he should go to get out of Dallas, go up in the mountains? Because I know you mentioned when you went to Ali's camp, when you went down to Don King's camp, chopping that wood, being away from everybody. That gets the mind and the body right.
He should go to Muhammad. He should go somewhere like that. He should go somewhere like that. Go get away from people. Go into the mountains. Matter of fact, go to Muhammad Ali's camp. He can, like you said, and see all that. That might inspire him, seeing what Muhammad Ali sparred in that ring, or Muhammad Ali ran up that road, or Muhammad Ali chopped wood right there. Things like that will bring you back. It'll bring him back, But he needs somebody to strengthen this up. And
we got a super chat from Huntsman, and he got a question. He said, "Champ, please tell us about the Pinklon Thomas fight. Why was he so hard for you to deal with? You had so much, and you had an easy time with Larry Holmes, an easier time with Larry Holmes." Well, see, tell him about that Pinklon Thomas fight. That's when Don King wasn't paying attention to anybody but Mike Tyson.
Yes. So that particular fight, I was arguing to the media. I was arguing to everybody about being ripped off. So I knew for a fact that if I didn't knock Pinklon Thomas out, that he was going to get the win, because I knew Don King was trying to get me out. Now, with the Don King thing, I'm over with that. I'm on my way. But we talking on this podcast what happened. So when Pinklon came in, all he had to do is survive. Just look good and survive. And he was throwing. I didn't even care about that fight in a way, because I knew they was bringing him in just to be a figure, because they was going to take the fight from me. I would have to knock him out to win, and I knew that. So a lot of things was going on before the fight, and my head wasn't in it. And he beat me with a left jab. He was jabbing me with the jab, and I'm good at blocking jabs. My head wasn't in the fight then, because I knew what was going on business-wise. But he won. I felt that it was close enough for me to win. I felt that, and also his ribs was hurt. I was hitting him in the ribs. Somebody said he hurt his ribs before that. So I hit him on the ribs a couple of times, and he kind of like backed up. But he fought like a warrior. He fought like a warrior. I do believe if my head was right and I had a proper training thing for that fight, and mentally I was okay, I think I would have won that fight. I know I would have won the fight. There's somebody else donating 10. Who is
Yeah,
that?
no, that was Huntsman. That's the one we just
That's
had.
the same guy. Thank you,
MJ,
Huntsman.
MJ has a question for you. He says,
Okay.
Champ, you often say that Larry Holmes didn't have skills. Can you say that? He wants you to elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay, listen. Larry Holmes had a great jab. Larry Holmes had a great jab. Okay? He won a lot of his fights. He jab you and hit you with that right hand, and then sometimes he'll go like this with his chin up with the body. But that was his trademark, the jab. His right hand didn't bother me at all. He's a great champion. He made it with just a jab and a right hand and a big heart. He didn't have a good defense. He didn't have a good defense. I felt so comfortable in there with him. Oh man, because I had a good defense and I was blocking all his stuff. If you watch the fight, I was blocking all his shot and I was countering on him. I had fun. That's one fight I had a lot of fun in, was with Larry Holmes. I was in there one of the greatest boxers during this era, and I'm doing this. I just started boxing 2 years ago.
Unbelievable.
2.5 years ago. And my trainer, I had a great trainer who grew me up and had me ready. And he the one said, oh, right before the fight, they offered me to fight. Don King offered me to fight. And so I said, Slim, this is a little too soon, my trainer. He said, Tim, we're going to kick his ASS. And I said, okay, that's the faith I had in my trainer. And we practiced for a couple of months blocking Larry Holmes' jab. I didn't even worry about his jab when we fought him. But you got to give him respect. He is a great champion.
And somebody's mentioning there, P's mentioning there, he also thinks Holmes had good footwork and underrated inside skills. That uppercut he dropped Mike Weaver with was beautiful.
Okay. Now he dropped Mike Weavers with that uppercut. He was, he's good with that. But I didn't see no footwork with Larry. He was basic. He'll get you out there, like you said, with that uppercut and that right hand. To me, he didn't have no defense. He would hold you out here, hold you at one arm, hold you out here. So here's a champion that made it without having a good defense.
Tim, if you had been given a decision against Holmes, do you think you would have won the rematch or partied like Leon Spinks did in his he lost the rematch?
Nah. He said Leon's party.
Well, he said, do you think you would have, if you had beat Holmes, do you think you would have won the rematch, or do you think you would have let the fame and the money go to your head like Leon Spinks did?
No, because I had really good people around me. One of them was my Grandma Gang War Fanny. They call her Gang War Fanny. And she said, you better not let nobody whip your butt. No, but I had good support around me. And I knew that winning that fight, I would have like sparring partners, my trainer, they would have been on me, we would have won again. But I know eventually down the line, probably the money issue and coming home and partying with people, I knew that it was everywhere. It was hard. Drugs was everywhere. Partying was everywhere. So when you go back home, you face another war. And that's the neighborhood you live in and the people that you're around. So it would have been
your family too. Everybody's got their hand out. Everybody thinks you owe them something.
Listen, with me, real quick, I felt that I gave my family some money, but the people outside of my family got more money than my own family, so I feel really bad. I gave my family money, but the people that was outside of the family was getting money from me more than my family. And now I'm at my age now, feeling that I didn't really help my family out. But I did, but people outside of my family got more than they did. And I'll be thinking about that all the time. It's really bad. And I think I still would have had a lot of different things that I bought a house, a lot of things I would still have them if I would have stayed close to my family, my mom. But
You came,
hard.
you came out of it. You're a champion, man. You're a great human being, a great friend, and you're giving us all this valuable information on YouTube. So you are a hero, my brother. So MZ asked Bruce my opinion on Larry Holmes' skill. He was the best at the time. He came after Muhammad Ali. Unfortunately, he came in the shadow of Ali, but he had that jab, that left jab of Larry Holmes. I mean, I saw him. He knocked out Ozzy Ocasio with the jab. We saw Larry Holmes had a great jab, and Tim found a way to take that jab away. And if somebody would have, Larry was very selective on who he picked. Larry wanted to get that 50-0 record, and I mean, he took you as just to get a W in the column. You weren't considered a threat for him when he challenged you, but Larry realized, he needed more than that jab. I think the way he used to leave that jab out, I think if he had fought a guy like Joe Frazier, I think Joe would have come up, bang, broke that elbow. I don't think he could get away with that if he fought someone like a guy like Rocky Marciano, guy like Joe Frazier. But Larry, he was the best at the time.
Yes, he was.
He was the heavyweight champ for 7 years. He's got what do you got? 20 title defenses. I mean, just a great fighter, Hall of Fame material.
It says, what do you think? I hate to cut you off.
No, go, buddy, go.
Okay, it said, what do you think about the Frank Bruno fight? I could do that real quick.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest fights of my life. I'm gonna do this real quick. And we was going. I knew we was going in somebody else's country, somebody else's backyard. I knew I would have to be in tremendous shape. I seen the videos of him knocking guys out. And they were saying that he really can't take a good punch, but when I fought him, he took a couple of my punches. But I got him near the end. But that was one of the biggest fights of my life. I went to another country fighting with 65,000 people in the stadium, and I won the fight. That was the greatest feeling in the boxing I ever had, was that one. So, Bruno was a tough guy. He was tough. Go ahead, Bruce.
No, bro, that was your shining moment. I remember sitting here watching that fight, 1986. The big right hand dropped him in the corner, and everybody was like, "Whoa!"
Yes,
Timmy did it. Tim is the heavyweight champion of the world. Finally. It was a great.
I had the belt then, Bruce, and I didn't. How about this? I didn't even know how much money I was getting when I was on the airplane to fly over there.
That's right. I'm sorry. I don't know where my mind was going. Must be this green dragon tincture I'm doing. Yeah, you went over there with the champ, and you got the short money going to the other guy's backyard with your belt. That was insane. That was incredible.
I went on with 90,000, and he went on with $1 million something.
Well, let's hope we don't see that again. Here's yo champ. When I go to the gym, I see people bringing their right hand back so far, just more and counter people than you can. That's a long sentence. But anyway,
say that again.
Let me see if I can break this down. Let's see. Yo champ, when I go to the gym, I see people bringing their hand back so far. You just move and counter punch people. You go for a power shot, but you will just see their punching come. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. You got to get.
No, but what is he talking about? If you want to get power, you don't do this. You keep it here and turn your body with it in tight, like a bullet in the chamber. It'll come out pretty strong instead of like this. So if this is what you're talking about, okay, when you turn, don't come back here with it. Keep it close to you, and you'll defensively you protect yourself, and plus you'll fire it out like a bullet in the chamber. Bam! It comes out stronger than this. It's stronger here than out here. So when you turn, you got defense and you're ready to let it go. Boom.
Great advice, champ. I got a question from Huntsman again. Tim, if Tony Tubbs never discovered the cocaine, how good was Tony Tubbs?
Tony was very elusive. Tony had a good jab. He was quick. But his punch wasn't, hey, June, hey, June Smith, she's from my school. She's from my neighborhood and stuff. We used to We used to like each other. But
All right.
yeah, that's June Smith. So Larry Holmes. Wait a minute, who are you talking about?
Tony Tubbs.
Okay, Tony Tubbs was elusive. He had good movement. He had good movement and everything. It was hard to get him. You had to go to his body because he moved all the time. And he didn't really punch that hard. Could you tell me, Bruce, about his record? How many knockouts he had?
I'll go look it up right now.
I heard him in the fight one time. But I couldn't finish him off because something happened in training camp. Where I couldn't. I think I hurt my hand or my knee where I couldn't run that. I couldn't run, so I had to wait a little bit before I start running again. And so when I got into the fight, it was the last 15 rounds in boxing history. Me and Tony Tubbs, we fought the last 15 rounder. And because somebody died in the ring, so they cut the rounds down to 12. But me and Tony fought the last 15 rounds, and I used to spar with him before. He was very elusive. You couldn't get him. He was quick. You had to go to his body. But I heard him one time. And I couldn't take him out because of the training. The training.
Yeah, he's got a record of 47 wins and 10 losses, and he's only got 25 knockouts. So he's not that hard of a knockout puncher. But his thing was defense and hand speed. Tony Tucker.
Yep. He was fast, and he had a big heart.
Paul Stuckey says, Tim, you and I had a photo taken together in Bristol, England. I never did get them photos. Okay, MZ has a question for you. Well, you know what they say, man. All you got to do is get in touch with Tim through the website, and he'll send you an autographed picture. You get a nice personally autographed picture. I have one over my shoulder here, over my left shoulder. One of my prized possessions. Only $25.
And
best investment you can make.
Bruce, the guy that just got finished fighting Youssef, they gave me a phone call the other day, and they were trying to talk to me about maybe working with Debozi. How do you pronounce his name?
Dubois.
So I had a phone call, like about 20-minute, half an hour phone call, and so they trying to reach out and find him some help. I would love to train to him or anybody because I know what I'm doing. I don't know everything, but I know a lot more than these guys today.
Well, you know, that's great to hear, man, because you know that's what we've been trying to get. We've been trying to attract some of these fighters because you know you got a wealth of knowledge over here. This is a man who he held 2 heavyweight championships. He trained with some of the biggest names in history. I mean, this is a man who has a lot of knowledge to give to fighters out there. And Daniel Dubois, that would be a very smart thing for him to do. So this is also breaking news. I don't think anybody in boxing knows this yet. So
let's call, and that'll be a smart move on their behalf. Cause I'm so relaxed right now. When I see a boxer, I don't panic. I know exactly. Let me see him move, and I know exactly what to do with him. That's all.
All right, man.
Oh, he has to tighten his defense. Go ahead, Bruce.
No, I just want to read some of these questions out here because we got a lot of the people in the chat. They want to pick your brain, and that's a good thing because you got the experience and the knowledge.
What did June want? Ask June, was she? No, we'll get back.
Oh, we'll go right down the line over here, man. MZ says, Tim, you know David Bay well. Do you think he could have done it better? You think he could have done a better career?
Yeah, see, he had a different trainer than me. My trainer did try to train him a little bit at one point. He was strong. David Bay had arms like this, and if he hit you, oh man, he'll break your bone. But he got knocked out by Larry Holmes and everything. I think he had another trainer though. But Slim worked with him a little bit. I do believe if he would have got to it out of block, had to keep his defense a little tighter. Larry wouldn't have knocked him out, wouldn't have stopped him. But he was powerful. From Germantown. David Bay.
Right. Yeah, he died in a construction accident.
Yeah, big piece of metal hit him.
Sad.
Yeah. It is.
And okay, P has a question for you. What was the secret to your longevity? You were a contender well into your 40s. Hey, man, Tim takes care of himself. He eats right. He trains. He don't mess with drugs. He doesn't smoke. I mean, dude, that's and plus the supplement. He takes really good supplements.
Oh yeah.
He showed us a bottle of the tonic that he takes.
I take a lot of. Oh yeah. You're talking about the body healer. But I haven't eaten beef or pork for 50 years. I haven't eaten beef or pork for 50 years. So
that's what it is, man.
And now I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish or chicken. I just eat plant stuff. I put aloe vera on my face. That's why my face look a little bit tiny young. I put aloe vera and I put it in the smoothie. I cut it up. I take the leaf and wipe my face and let it stay on there for 10 minutes. And I take the aloe vera stuff, put it in the blender with all the other stuff, turmeric, all kind of vegetables, red onions, garlic, a whole bunch of stuff.
We'll have to put that smoothie up on your website. So if anybody wants to stay fit and healthy well into their 60s, you do what Tim Witherspoon does. I do it. I'm trying to beat the clock myself. And hey, that's what it is. It's taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating the right things, staying active. Very simple. Okay, let's see. We got another one here. We got June Smith. June Smith is putting the hots in there for you, Tim.
Yeah.
Israel says, learning a lot from you and Tim. Thank you so much, guys. Nathan said, bro, Champ knows what he's talking about. Yes, he does.
Page. That was a hard fight. Real quick, that was a hard fight. I beat Greg. I beat him, but real quick, I know that Greg Page was arguing with Don King. I was arguing with him at the same time, so I kept quiet. So I played politics in this. See, Greg Page was upset with Don, and I was upset with him. So when I found out that Greg Page was arguing and fighting with Don, I kept quiet. So the fight was close. The fight was a little. I edged him a little bit. I edged him. Everybody. It looked like I won the fight, but you had to be convincing. But I kept quiet, and then I said a little nice things about Don, the seal and everything. But Greg kept talking about him. So that particular fight, when I won the title, he was trying to beat me, and I was trying to beat him. But I knew Don was on my side that time because Greg was doing too much talking, and I kept quiet. I said, whoa. So I played politics. I shut my mouth, and he was a hard puncher too. It didn't look like,
and he had a lot of natural talent also.
Yes.
Very, very impressive. And you know, I gotta give Greg Page. You know, he went down to South Africa. Well, first of all, I really want to give David Bay the credit because David Bay, he was signed to go down to South Africa to fight Harry Coetzee. But South Africa was still aperitif. They were still they had very terrible politics down there, and entertainers, black athletes, they were boycotting South Africa. So David Bay, he could have went down and fought Coetzee, and he didn't go. But Greg Page went down there. Greg Page won his title by going down to South Africa. So that's just how it's all connected. You know, all the boxes we're talking about. It's all connected.
Reed Finley McCallman. You see that? Tim, what are your thoughts on Andrew Golota?
Oh, I didn't get down that far yet. I still got somebody that wants to know your thoughts on Michael Watson. Did you know Michael Watson?
Yeah, I met Michael in England. I met him when he was crippled, but I seen videos of his fights. Me and him really like we family and stuff. He was in a wheelchair. I don't know what's going on with him now, but Michael Watson was a really nice guy. Really nice boxer, really a nice guy. Somebody the young people could follow. I like Michael. He was beautiful. Okay, June Smith, you want one, man? Tim's email address is on his page. Just email him, and I'm sure that they'll get one right out to you. How do you ask a question in the neutral corner? Just type it in the chat. I'm going as well as I can. I'm blind, and Tim is blind, but we're trying our best to read these questions. Huntsman, British heavyweights have known Tim Witherspoon can fight since 1986. Yes, they have, man. AO1, the pros. What's up, champ? That one guy, Bones. Shout out to Bones. I know Bones. Cool dude, man. Yo, Bones. Thank you. Did you get the Cindy McKelman?
Let's see. Paul Jones, the neutral corner. What advice would you give to a young boxer today?
To,
You want to answer that one before we get to that next one? Okay, we'll ask the advice you give a young boxer today, and then we'll talk about Andrew Galata.
make sure that you have a secondary profession, something like school, university, some degree. Don't make boxing your number one priority. Education should be your number one priority, and boxing should be your second. So train hard and everything, and try not to get hit on your head at younger ages. Don't try not to get hit, but have a secondary. Boxing should be secondary, and education should be number one.
And learn that defense.
And
Okay,
learn-
now this is
If
the
that's
question.
what you're talking about, if that's what he means.
I think that's what he means. And this is the question you wanted from Finley McCallum. Tim, what's your thoughts on Andrew Galata? You think
Okay,
he would have done against Tyson? How do you think he would have done against a peak Tyson and Holyfield?
okay.
First of all,
Andrew Galata. We flew over Poland to fight him, and I knew that he was a dirty fighter at certain times because he hit Riddick Bowe. Was it Riddick Bowe? He hit Riddick Bowe low a couple of times. So I used my brains. When I went over there, I didn't act like a tough guy. I act like I was ready to fight him. But when I got in front of him, I said, "Look, man, I know that you was hitting people low." I said, "Look, man, I'm not a dirty fighter, so I'm going to win this fight the right way." So I said, "You watch them low blows, man, because I'm not no bad fighter." So I used psychology on him. But their plan was to step back every time I tried to hit him with the overhand. I was like, who was his trainer? I wasn't in shape either. I wasn't in the best shape. If you'd have put pressure on me, he could have won convincingly. But I came over. They came over to my house. I was off of boxing like 2 months, and asked me, "Do you want to fight Andrew Galata?" And I needed money. So I said, "Okay." So I tried to get in shape. It took me 3 weeks. They were stepping back every time I tried to throw them in. They would step back. They didn't know. Their game plan wasn't to come forward, but was to step back when I go like that. And when I found that out, I had an easy fight to the 10th round. But I did try to fight. I tried to hurt him, hit him, but he outpointed me. It was a great experience over in Poland. Go ahead. What's the next on there?
Wait, hang on. I just got a text. Let me see who it is here.
Was he world champion?
Right,
No.
right. Let's see. The next question is.
Andrew Galata, world champion. Then it says, how do you think you would do against Pete Tyson and Holyfield? Real quick, when it was time for me to fight Tyson, they turned me down because of my skills. They didn't know that I wasn't in top shape. I was being abused by my business. And Evander Holyfield, so Tyson at that time would have beat me. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't in no type of shape. But the management, because of my overhand right, my defense, they were worried about that. When I found that out, I said, "Whoa, people respected me for my defense and overhand right." Okay, so his management said they didn't want to take that fight, but Tyson would have fought me anytime. Now, Evander Holyfield, they said he had something was wrong with his heart, so that's why our fight didn't. Remember that time he had a hard heart or something?
Oh, that was, I remember he was on one of the evangelical shows, and they laid hands on him, and he went down, and they said the heart was cured. I mean, it was crazy. He said he had a hole in his heart, and that was after the third Riddick Bowe fight. But he came back, and he came back as a champion. Evander was cut from a different mold.
But you see what skills can do to people. It'll put a doubt. I'm not saying I had the best skills, but I had I had a good trainer from the old time, and I added some stuff on. And so the management was worried about fighting me, not the fighter. The fighter would have fought me anytime. Tyson, Holyfield, he would have gotten there, but the management, that's what I found out. When I found that out, I said, "Whoa." I said, "Okay." Yeah. I said, "Okay." Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Where are we over here? Let me see. Greg Page looked great against Coetzee. They could not have beaten Coetzee. Okay, man, that's your opinion. That's what.
Say that
Well, he
again.
said, Huntsman said Greg Page looked great against Terry Coetzee, and Bay could not have beaten Coetzee. Let's say no. We'll never know. We'll never know. Everybody has opinions on fights, but David Bay, he chose not to go down there. He stood up for something. I got to give him so much credit for that.
Yeah.
Let's see, P. I think the fact that everyone compared Page with Ali was part of his downfall. That could have been, and you know the thing was, Tim, everybody from your era, they compared a lot of those fighters to Ali. Didn't a lot of them fight like Ali? Didn't a lot of them try to dance on their toes?
I could do it, but I didn't. Yeah, listen, I could do it, but I never did it in the fight. I did it against Larry Holmes in that 8th round. I did a little bit. I didn't even practice it. But Greg Page did have no style like Ali. He was big, and he moved around and try to because they came from the same area or something like that. But I think that was his mistake because he could punch too, and he was strong. He should have sat down and fought like this. He tried to dance like Ali too, because he came from the same area. But I don't think it worked for him.
Okay, guys, what would have been the outcome of a fight between Holmes versus Game? I don't know who Game. I don't know that quite. I don't know what you're saying.
Game?
I don't know, man. Yo, Tim, what was the sparring like preparing for a fight? What was your routine duties during the week?
Okay.
What was it like at camp?
Okay, we would get up in the morning and we would run 4 miles, but it would be like 20 people in Don King's camp or more. We get up, everybody running. Then we would come back home, come back to the camp and eat breakfast. It'd take about a half an hour for Lana Shabazz, who was Muhammad Ali's cook, to make us breakfast. Then we would wait for about an hour and everybody would go in the back and chop wood. It'd be like 20 of us. Sometimes it'd be 15, sometimes it'd be 5, but we'd go chop wood like 3 days a week, maybe 4. Some of us would chop maybe to 5. And then after the wood chopping, we would go home and rest. We go back to the cabins, where we stayed. We would rest up and then go to the gym later. Go to the gym about 3 hours later. Then after that, then after the gym, we would go eat dinner again. Lana Shabazz would have our dinner ready. Then it would be some guys like Azuma Nelson and them lightweights. They would go in and train again so they could keep their weight down. But all the heavyweights and everybody else, we didn't go and do a fourth workout. So everything was there. Trees, food, out in the country. It was beautiful. Hey, Brian.
Great question, champ. I got a question. So let's say Rose Namajunas.
Sorry, we didn't talk about Rose.
And Garcia. What you just talked about, what would you do for them coming off of losses, that mental? What kind of camp do you think you would put together for them with your experience that would pull them out of the rut?
I would do what a trainer do. I'll make them love themselves again. I would teach them all the things that they need to win a fight. I would love doing that. I wouldn't even be thinking about money. I'll be thinking about that victory because a lot will come out of that if you win the fight. I don't want to hear nothing about no $1 million. I want to teach you something. And I want you to execute it so they can say Tim Witherspoon did that. That's worth more than that money. You're going to get that money. You know what I'm saying?
That's the mindset that nobody has anymore. They all want that $8. Okay, man. What do you guys think of Tony Tucker? Tony Tucker, he was a great heavyweight.
He was a nice guy too. He was a nice guy. Okay. He was a nice guy. He was basic jab, boom, boom. All of those guys came from the Muhammad Ali team, that the Olympics and all that stuff. Those guys, a lot of them fought similar. Like they fought similar. Tony Tubbs was straight up fighter, bomb. He punched real good. He went the distance with Tyson. He was big and strong, but his greatest asset was his personality. and his jab, and you know his personality. He was a nice guy,
Well,
man.
well, after he was supposed to get a shot. He did get a shot for the vacant WBA title, and he got beat by Bruce Seldon. Remember Bruce Seldon?
Okay, Bruce Seldon. Yeah,
And
Bruce.
uh, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in boxing. They talk about step aside fees. Lennox Lewis got $4 million to not to fight, so Mike Tyson could fight Bruce Seldon. Lennox Lewis was the #1 WBC contender. Not to take the Mike Tyson fight, Don King gave him $4 million. Have you ever heard anything crazy like that? That's insane.
Wow.
Step aside. Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to get to every question in here, man. So have a little patience because the champ's got all the answers for you. Let's see, man. All right, I got a question here from MZ. He says, who would have won a fight between Larry Holmes and Greg Page? I think Greg Page would have beaten. I'm sorry. I think Larry Holmes would have beaten Greg Page just with his experience and his style.
He would have out hustled him. He would have out hustled Greg. Greg had a bounce and fight like Ali and stuff like that. And yeah, Larry, I think would out jabbed him. But I think if Greg would have caught him with one of them bolos, he could drop him. But Larry would have probably won to lose that fight.
Nathaniel Carter says, Michael Watson, that was my uncle, and I will tell him you said hi. So cool on that one, my brother.
Okay, that's right.
If you could do one fight all over again, who would it be? I think we know that one.
If I had a fight with somebody, would I do?
If you could do one fight all over again, what
Larry
fight would that
Holmes.
be? There we go. That's an easy one.
I want to pick on him.
Big Tim, remember me from Bournemouth. Chris Curtis.
Is that in England, Burma?
Bournemouth. I don't know where it is, man. Must be. It's on Facebook. Shout out to the worldwide audience we pull them in from all over the world because we got a former 2-time world heavyweight champ over here, man.
So this Rose Namajunas, I can't pronounce her name. She lost. I want to jump over this. She lost 2 fights in a row. Me and Brian, and we were trying to get her. We was at an event and we talked to her. I was showing her stuff. She's a good student. And she lost 2 fights in a row. And I know that she can get the title back again. She was supposed to come to camp with us too, Bruce. She was supposed to come to camp with her. Her husband is the manager, I think, or the trainer. They're really nice people. And I just felt so bad that all she had to do was just come with us, go to Ali's camp, go up there and train, have somebody cook good food with her, get her motivation back. She's a really nice person, man, and she deserved that type of treatment. So Ryan Garcia, and Spence, I feel bad. I feel kind of like a certain way about them because right in front of them, there's people that can help them, and they don't know how to reach out to them. Bruce. Rose, she kind of like was with me, and we got a little video with her. She loved it, but I don't know why they didn't call me or come talk to us so we could help her. She wouldn't have lost both of them fights. And Ryan Garcia, he's easy to get back in the right situation. He's easy too. And these are the type of things. And Spence, man, all he got to do is give us a call, Bruce.
For sure.
Man. And
Right,
we
man.
can tell them how to get back. We can tell them how to get back, get their feelings back, and get back on the right track.
That's it, man. Those are things money can't buy.
I'm their big
Huntsman gave you another super chat, man. He said, Tim, tell us about Denmark and Brian Nielsen.
Okay.
Where you built on your record, given that you could still hang with monsters like Galata and Mercer.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everybody what happened because that happened years ago. Like again, I was home in my house up in Bucks County, and these people knocked on the door. A limo pulled up real quick. Hello? What happened?
No,
Okay.
you're there, champ. It was Bruce. Bruce just shut off his thing for a second. That was
Okay.
that wasn't him. Chip
Okay.
thought he.
Okay. So I was in. Listen. Listen, Bruce. Real quick. I was laying in my bed and heard a knock on the door. So I came downstairs and it was these guys. Ziggy, somebody from Poland. He was a promoter, and he said, "Tim, can I come in?" He said, Ziggy showed me the stuff, and I said, "Nah, let me come outside." And he's a good guy, though. I came outside, and they talked to me and said, "Look, no, it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't Ziggy. It was somebody else. It wasn't that. That wasn't it. They called me. That was Andrew Glatter. This was another one. They called me and asked would I come over, but they wanted me to call in 3. So they called me and said, and I think they said something, I can't remember real quick. They said, if we fly you over to fight Brian Nelson, you got to go down in 3, and we'll pay you $60,000. I don't know who the promoters was, but they paid me to fall down. I would never fall down in the United States, but I needed the money. So they flew us over. And my oldest brother went with me, Ralph Gogo. They flew me over with him and a couple other people, and they tried to take our passport from us. But my brother, he bigger than me. He was like, "No, y'all not taking our passport. We come over there to do the job and go home." So they wanted me to fall. So they took me in the room. They said we go. I think it was 70,000. We said we're gonna give you 60,000, but we want you to go down in 3. I'm telling you the story. I can't remember the people, so they can't get in trouble. So I said, okay. But they did that when I was home. So we over there, and then I just trained a little bit. So when the bell rung, I went to 1 round. I think I went 2 rounds. Then he hit me, and then I went down, and I got the money. But I would never do that in America or nowhere. And I didn't feel really bad because I needed the money. But Brian Nelson didn't really beat me. I could have beat Brian in like maybe the first or maybe no more than 3. I could have beat Brian Nelson. So ain't that a story?
Hey, Chip, quick question to you.
Okay.
Where is Spence mentally now after his loss, and what people have been saying about him, his performance? Do you think mentally, talk about that, and how what you would plan to do to take him back if he came here, because now he doesn't have I believe he doesn't have a coach now, right? That's the one who was in jail, or am I conflating it with?
No. That's
Buzz.
Crawford's coach, Bomac. Errol Spencer's having trouble with his coach too.
Yeah, I heard that. What do you think? What would be the plan for him, champ, mentally and physically, to get him where you feel if he has this rematch, because it's going to go up in weight. They're going up in weight, I guess, right, Bruce?
We spoke on that subject. Where were you, man? Play this tape back.
But listen, what we need to do is get him to go.
He's going up to 150 something, right?
Okay, but what we need to
you don't have to get redundant. Tim mentioned he's got to get back to basics, get into a heavy camp.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, we said that, right? Go to like Muhammad Ali's camp and get that feeling. I know once I start showing him stuff, he's going to get confident back. If he want me to work with him, you know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be about, well, we'll take care to find the agreement, but I'm interested in making this kid come back. I'm interested in making him smile. That's what I want to see. I want to see smiles on everybody's face. I love everybody, and you got to love yourself first before you love anybody else. I'm a leader, and I would take him in the camp. I would run with him. I would chop. That's what I do. I chop wood with these little guys.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man.
The same thing they do.
Yeah.
You know what? That motivates them. That motivates. I got these little kids. I hit the hammer with them. I run with them. I talk to them. And while I'm doing that, I teach them how to shell up. I teach them how to slip. I'm working with these kids from Egypt, and a couple other places. I'm working with these little kids, Bruce, and they learning fast too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, what are your thoughts on Tyson Fury's next fight? Paul Shepard asked that question. He says he's pretty fed up about it. A world champion should give any top contender an opportunity. He thinks he should be stripped of his title. What do you think of? What do you think of Tyson Fury fighting the wrestler, fighting
Yeah,
the
I do.
MMA?
Yes, I do think that Tyson should follow the rules. There's a lot of negative things going on with boxing now, and like they're bringing in Jake Paul is coming in, and they're trying to belittle all our stuff. They don't want to. They don't want to work their way up the ladder. They just want to jump up to the top because they're movie stars. And I mean, I don't blame them for trying to make money, but it's hurting the boxing industry and to a certain level. So if they let everybody know it's just an exhibition and that it's not going to hurt
Well,
somebody.
well then it's for the championship of Dubai. Is that WBC actually made a belt for it? I mean, it's
That's
insane.
not cool. That's not cool. See, WBC shouldn't have did that. I think they could be mad at me. But it's about money.
It's about, and the next question goes hand in hand with that, Tim. If you could change one thing in boxing, what would you change?
Wow, it's a lot of things to change.
There's a lot of things that change, man.
One thing. Golly, that's a hard question because it's
That,
a lot.
that is, man.
It's
And-
a hard
and
question.
there's so much that has to be changed in boxing. That's an impossible question for one of the sanest men around to answer. Okay, awesome. People respected that overhand right. That's one punch. Okay, thank you for the comment.
Thank you.
Butterfish, Paul Driscoll, Trevor Burbick, beat Page. Yep, he did. If you could change one thing in boxing, we got that one already. Let's see, Tim. Who do you think has the best? Who do you think's the best boxer between Fury and Usyk? And how would you rate
Between who?
Hyde as a heavyweight champion? We got
Between Usyk and who?
Usyk and Tyson Fury.
No, Usyk is a better mover. His defense is moving. Tyson Fury has got plenty of heart, but he doesn't have no defense because he grabs. I don't want him upset with me. Tyson Fury will throw punch, then grab, and then hit you. Why don't you show your art by punching and going back to defense? So Tyson Fury, when he engages, one of his things he does after punching is grabbing and then he hits. I mean, there's a lot more. You can do a lot better if he just pull his hands inside and have a defense inside. So he's not taught how to fight inside because he grabs and hit and stuff like that. When really he should be trying to get into a position where he can throw punches when he in close. But he doesn't have that. So this is what you see out of Tyson Fury. If you watch videos, he'll fight, and when you get close, he'll grab you. To me, that's boring. Even though he's the champ, and me and him cool. I love your brother. He's a really nice guy. Me and my daughter was over in England with him and his dad and all the gypsies. I know the gypsies. I love their organization. But when your fighter get close, when he gets close, he'll hold you and grab. And that to me, that he wins the fights. But that to me is I don't like that. Just doing that all during the fight.
Okay. Tim, Israel Gomez says, Tim, come to Gleason's, man. I've been using your Philly shell. It's been working and sparring.
I think I work with him. You know?
Okay.
Tim, tell him to come to the seminar.
Come to the seminar, Brian.
On November 18th at Tim Jr.'s gym. It's right on our website, thecircleoflegends.net. We got a seminar coming up, and you'll have Terrell Biggs there, Xavier, one of the greatest pad men in the world, and maybe a surprise from another boxing legend. But come to the seminar.
Yeah, come to the seminars at my son's gym.
I'll put a link in the description. I mean, in the
seminar. Come to the seminars at my son's gym in Bristol, Pennsylvania. You will be satisfied. You will be happy when you leave. I'm gonna put most of my time into teaching guys defense, the Philly shell, how to counter. You're gonna learn in that first day. You're gonna have some of it down pat, and it's up to you to go home and practice it. And you keep in touch with me so I can keep you up to date on it. Okay? Don't miss that seminar because it's going to be a lot of good stuff in there.
I'm gonna try to get down there, man.
You gonna try to come?
I'm gonna try to come, man. I can't promise. Transportation's a little sketchy for me, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna come down there, brother. Just like I met you down in Pennsylvania a year ago. We're due to sit down and have some big breakfast together, bro.
We have fun.
Nathan,
We team.
yo,
We're the same team.
absolutely. And in fact, I might have to take Marlon down. I might have to stop in Hartford and pick up Marlon.
Oh yeah. Okay. We're gonna talk about it.
Bruce, if you get Marlon, we can put him on. If you're definitely going to come, we can make him part of the
I'm gonna try, man. Don't hold me to it, because you know there's a lot of things going on in my life.
Tell him he'll be calling you all the time. You picking me up.
Hey, I can call Marlon right now. We can put Marlon on the show right now.
Thank you, Paul Shepard. Thank you, Paul Shepard. You was freedom fighter Tim. You visit. What's that? Visit. You already said that Germany.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Nathan Carter's got a question for you. He says, "Yo, Tim, what's been the hardest punch you've ever taken?"
My kid's mother. Boy,
There we go.
No. The hardest punch I ever got hit with was Call the Truth. I was fighting Call the Truth, and he had a devastating right hand. He had a good jab, and I just fell asleep a little bit, and he caught me with it. He hit me the hardest than anybody in the boxing that ever hit me. But I recovered and went on and won the fight by decision. Call the Truth hit me with that long right hand. God bless him. He passed away. He passed away a couple years ago.
Came very close to being heavyweight champ of the world with Larry Holmes in that 15-round fight.
Yeah.
So shout out. God bless Call the Truth. Neutral Corner, great show, guys. Thank you so much for the compliment. And I'm on Facebook too, man. Bruce Gass, you follow me, I'll follow you back. I appreciate it. Israel's got another. Yo, Tim, you got robbed in that Ray Mercer fight. I watched that fight last night. Hey, that's boxing, man. You win a few, you lose a few, but we're lucky. We got Tim right here with us now.
But you know, hey, Bruce, real quick. Ray lost like 2 fights in a row, and he told me it's his turn now. But he did say that he think that I won, and I said no, you hustled. So we both was telling each other we think each other won. That was a close fight. I thought I won though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Joe Budka says this really makes me feel happy seeing Tim Witherspoon doing great things in boxing. My hat is off to this man. He has a hard run with politics included, and he's really looking good today. Yes, he is, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Enoch has dropped a link in there, Circle of Legends. So, Tim Witherspoon dropped one in there too. So there's a couple of links dropped in. I think you have to be moderated so people can click the links. But it is what it is. And if anybody has any more questions, man.
Sean Jones, why 4 belts? You see that? Why 4 belts for the heavyweight championship? You don't.
Yeah. That was a question up there a little while ago.
We did it already. We did it.
I don't know if we got to that one. Okay, let's go through it. Why 4 belts for the heavyweight championship? You don't get 4 Super Bowls, Tim. If you could change heavyweight boxing, yeah. You know, it's politics. There's 4 organizations that run boxing today. When Tim was the champ, there were only 2. It was easier to unify, to become undisputed. Now you got 4. That's 4 different committees, 4 different lawyers running the operation. It's a whole different. It's a different world today.
Yes, it is. And let me say something about some of the belts. So real quick, some of the belts they give to the up and coming boxers, like the new guys that's coming up to make them feel like they champion, like the USB, the little belts. You know, the little belts, they give that, they pacify the boxers and give that to them so they can feel like the champion, because the next step is they undefeated is going to be the championship belt. So the North American belt, I got that twice. The USBA, I got that once. I was 2-time North American, 1-time USBA. But they give you the young boxers belt so they can feel like champions, so they can work hard and get ready for the big one. So I was a 5-time champ, but I had the major, 2-time major. So that's what they do. They give you the little belts first to motivate you, and then give you the big shot. So, but he's saying all those belts, and I think that's about money. those extra belts is about money. You know, my champion, I got this IBF, I'm gonna make money. The organization gonna make money if there's more belts. Am I right, Bruce?
Yes, you are. That's what it's all about. They're making. You know, it's a business now. Boxing is a business. Mike Williams says, "How you doing, Tim? It's been a long time." Is that Mike Williams from Texas, the fighter?
I don't know, Mike Williams.
It could. No, there's a boxer out there. There's a boxer named Mike Williams.
Yeah.
That I follow. I keep getting texts from Brian over here. I think. Let's see, man. Spence was planned by Tim, and I said let him go with him. Let him go with next time.
Oh, James Broad. Tim, did you ruin James Broad? Oh, I put it on him, James Broad. He never seemed to recover from. James Broad.
Max Broad. Yeah,
he was
James.
so arrogant. He was arrogant. God bless him. He passed away too. But he was arrogant, and I just wanted to get him because of that. And he was just like, and I wanted to get him out of here. He was tough and powerful, but I got him out of there. God bless you, James.
He died very tragically behind a bowling alley in the car. He was homeless. His mind was gone. But, you know, very, very, very sad. Very sad. But hey, boxing is boxing. What's the next question, Tim? Thanks for all your fights. You gave a lot.
Thank you.
Oh, Tim, who was the best guy you ever sparred with? Your best sparring partner?
Mike the Bounty Hunter.
Mike the Bounty Hunter.
Wait. The best. Wow, there was a guy that Don King had. He was from Ohio, and he was a nice guy. He was big and stuff. I used to box with him. But I sparred with a lot of good guys, though. But I sparred with Mike the Bounty Hunter. He sparred, got me ready for a fight, but we couldn't hit him. But we did hit him. I told the story before. My trainer taught me how to beat him. He took the headgear off and threw it at my trainer and cussed my trainer out. But nobody touched Mike the Bounty. He moved so good. But Slim told me how to do it. You just go to the body. You're going to forget about that head. Keep putting pressure on him. And then when I started hitting him, he got mad. Took the headgear off, threw it, said, F you, Slim. He got out the ring. But nobody else could touch him. Nobody could hit him. You heard of Mike the Bounty Hunter?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And he was a real bounty hunter too, wasn't he?
Huh?
He was a real bounty hunter too, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I think he was. All right. Did you ever spar with Joe Frazier? Paul Driscoll.
Joe Frazier. I used to go to his gym. I fought his son. in the amateur, and I lost. But I used to go to his gym a lot, and he taught me how to put that weight on my left leg to throw the left hook. So he taught me how to leverage. He used to work with me. He used to call me Wooder. And I was wondering why he used to call me Wooder. And he was calling me Wooder all the time. So I was in England with one of his managers, this black guy from America. And I was so proud of Joe calling me Wooder. I thought I had a special name. And so, I thought he called me Wooder. I was talking to his manager, this guy. He said, yeah. I said, okay. The reason why he called you Wooder, because he can't say Witherspoon. I said, what? I said, and everybody started laughing. I said, he can't say Witherspoon? He said, yeah. That's why he called you Wooder. I was like, oh. That's when me and Joe Frazier was on the tour in England. Me and Joe, we was on the tour in England, and that's what his manager said. He said he can't say Witherspoon. Boy, you can't pay for this kind of stuff, man. I ain't complaining.
Your head has got so many stories in there, bro. That's why I love talking about this.
I'm blessed.
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed being here right now. Tim, have you ever sparred with Oliver McCall?
Oh, that boy's hard.
Tell us about that boy.
With him, the Bounty Hunter, back to back, and Bert Cooper. They whipped my behind. Listen, when we had our own camp, I think. And when I was in camp, guess who my spar partners was? Them three. In the beginning, they whipped my behind. But then as the week go on, they started falling off one by one. I started coming back. I came into camp not in shape, or they put the whipping on me. They put the whipping on me, man. And then when I started getting in shape, chopping wood, doing exercise, running, then the table turned. Table turned. Then the terrible Tim was back on the right track, and things went well. But they was Oliver, Bert Cooper, the bounty hunter. They whipped my behind for like 3 weeks. Woo!
Man, what a way to bust your cherry in this game. Those monsters.
They whipped my butt, Bruce.
Any experience with Ken Norton? Paul Driscoll got
Yes,
that question.
yes. Ken Norton. Okay, so Ken Norton was going to fight. Was it Larry Holmes? Ken Norton was fighting Larry Holmes. Well, I was sparring. No, Jerry Cooney. Okay, I was sparring Jerry Cooney, and I think I said this. I'm gonna be real quick. I was sparring Jerry Cooney. So Jerry Cooney couldn't hurt me or anything. But when I first went to the camp, he had all the sparring, 4 of them lined up, all beat up, broken up. It was beat up. So there was one guy there, Jeff Sims. He was still okay. So we started making Cooney look bad. He's like lean over and try to throw that big left, and all I had to do was just step over. Slim was smart, my trainer. So after a couple of weeks, they got rid of me. So they said they didn't need me no more. So when we went back to we went somewhere and we went to the fight site, my trainer was telling Kenny Norton them how to beat Cooney. So when we went when we went with them, I think it was in Vegas. The fight, where was the fight at? Was it in Vegas? Slim was telling Kenny Norton and them how to fight Jerry Cooney, but Cooney knocked him out in the first round. He was trying to help him.
Vegas or Madison Square Garden, one or the other.
Okay. Well, I was there. No, I don't think I was there. No, I wasn't. But we left. But we went to see them, though. We went to see them, and we was talking to them, and Slim was telling them what to do. Slim was telling Bill Slate was his trainer. Bill Slate.
Yep.
Hey,
Bill Slate.
We went in person. I was talking to Kenny, and I'm saying, Kenny, I did pretty good with him, stuff like that. Slim was trying to tell him how to beat him, but he got caught and Cooney knocked him out. Ain't this some good stuff?
Definitely. How about somebody asked you about Hercules Mike Weaver? You remember Mike Weaver?
Yes. I remember Mike. The closest I ever came to him is when he fought. Who the hell did he fought and knocked him out?
Oh, that was the heavyweight champion of the world. Damn. Where's my mind?
Big John
Tate. Yes, Big John Tate.
I was a sparring partner. See, I was a sparring partner. I think at that time, I think I was a sparring partner for Cooney. And then we left and went over there, and he knocked out. Did I fight on that card? I don't know. Did I fight on that card?
Well, that was when ABC had the 4 fights on from 4 different locations.
Okay.
Sugar Ray Leonard fought Davey Green on that card. Larry Holmes was in.
That was down in the fight was down in Tennessee.
Yeah, that was the Tate and Weaver fight was in Tennessee. They fought 4 different in New York. I think you had Marvin Johnson against Eddie Mustafa Muhammad.
Okay, I was Eddie Mustafa sparring partner too. Oh, I was there when Eddie knocked out Marvin Johnson.
You might have been on the card in that fight because that was like I said, they had four cards from 4 different arenas, and they just showed the main events on ABC all on the same night. It was a great card, but man, Mike Weaver.
He's his sparring partner. That's all. He knocked Marvin Johnson out. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my friend Joe out there, man. Joe, my brother from Ireland. Joe, Tim, remember a boxer called Fred Whitaker?
Yeah, he was my sparring partner. He's from North Carolina. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's a dark-complected black dude. He built to the ground like a tank, and he sparred with Tyson too. He's one of the nicest guys in the world. Fred Whitaker, that's my man. This is beautiful, man. Reminiscing and talking skills on the show, and we gotta. Well, we gonna keep going, but remember, Rose and Crawford, no, Rose and Spence and Garcia. If these guys could just get in touch with us, they won't be disappointed. Go
Yep,
ahead.
we got Tim's got some plans. We got some ideas and some ways that we can help each one of them out. Just like Rose Namajunas, we talked about bringing her up to Ali's camp and feeling that spirit, that magic that you felt when you were there, champ. Talk about
man.
how when you see these fighters like Garcia and they're getting beat up, and Spence, they're getting beat up, and they're all great when they were doing well, but how you been there where all of a sudden you're not winning and now you're no good and everybody's got nothing good to say about that.
Yeah.
Talk about that, champ.
Well, I do believe that like a lot of people have respect. It's just that some ways they don't show a lot of it. They may say some things, about Rose or Spence or Garcia, say certain things about them, but I don't think they that really bad. The talk is not that bad. It is kind of and it is not, but for these boxers, Bruce, to go through that, I went through it. For them to go through it is really bad, and they do need the right people in their corner. They do need the right people in their corner so they get to relax when they get taught stuff and have confidence when they go fight. So these three boxers that he just talked about, or he talked about Rose and Spence and let me look here, Garcia, they could have easily got the. All they got to just call me. I would say they ain't even gotta make no deal with me. Let me come in a couple of days, and I know you'll be satisfied.
They got to go back. They got to go back to school, man.
Look at my face. I don't have no cuts. I don't have no bruises.
Nope. And you still got your marbles upstairs. That's the most important part about. That's the most important thing. I see a lot of fighters that didn't have the defense you had, and they're mumbling their words. They can't remember where they lived. They can't remember what their birthday was on. It's just very, very important to learn the defense of Tim Witherspoon. Learn that Philly shell. Learn that high guard. Learn that cross arm defense. Don't use your head for a battering ram, man. You learn the basics from the best, and it's available right now. And we got two people asking almost the same questions about two great boxers. Once we start talking about those past boxers, they can't get away from it.
Hey, I'm not fighting Ernie Shavers or Ron Lyle, two of the hardest punchers. No way.
Tell us about your experience with those guys, champ.
Oh man. I was with Ron Lyle. I was with Ernie Shavers. God bless him, he passed away about half a year ago, whatever. Don King hired him as to be the man to wake everybody up and in his camp and make sure that everybody trained and make sure everybody do the right thing. But he didn't bother guys like me, Azuma Nelson, or the guys that was up there, Michael Dokes. But he made sure all the sparring partners and the fighters that were just like 7-0, 6-0, 15-0, he made sure they get up and run. But he didn't bother us, and he was really cool. Walked around and talked to everybody, and made sure the times is right when you go to the gym. Ron Lyle, I used to meet him in Vegas. He's cool. He was quiet, but it was something about him. If you mess with him, he will knock your ass. Knock your ass out. Ron Lyle, he was cool with me. Hey Tim, we would talk, and we would be in Vegas. When I go to Vegas, I used to hang with him and stuff, and we were cool. But I know once you get in that ring, that dude could punch. Who did he knock out? Who is that he knocked out?
Ron Lyle or Ernie Shavers?
Oh, Ron Lyle knocked out somebody big. He was fighting something. No, he got knocked out eventually.
Oh, well, you're talking. I think you might be talking about the George Foreman fight.
Okay, that was a fight, wasn't it, Bruce?
Man, if we saw more fights like that today, UFC wouldn't even be MMA wouldn't even be seen on television. That was the most amazing fight. It was fought in a phone booth, and you know it was another great fight. You know, we're talking about those two fighters when Ron Lyle fought Ernie Shavers. That's a phone booth war. Those guys, they got in the ring and they didn't need a referee. They just fought head to head. I think Lyle knocked him out. I think Lyle knocked out Shavers.
Okay. You punch hard.
Oh yeah, man. They both got knocked down. If anybody hasn't seen that fight, absolutely go check out that fight. Yeah, Huntsman, you got it. Lyle knocked out Shavers in a classic. That's one of my favorite fights, man.
George Foreman knocked him out too, but he dropped George. He dropped Big George.
Yeah, a couple of times. That was up and down, and they called it the elevator fight. And right after that fight, that's when Ron Lyle got his fight with Muhammad Ali.
Okay, you know, Jerry Cooney knocked out an old Lyle and an old Ernie Shavers. Did he fight Ernie Shavers?
No, Cooney didn't fight Ernie Shavers.
No, Kenny Norton.
Yeah, he knocked out an old Kenny Norton and an old Ron Lyle. But see, that's the thing with Cooney. Cooney's managers, and you had one of his managers as your manager.
Rappaport treated me real good.
Yes, you mentioned that many times. But Dennis was a smart guy. They guided Jerry Cooney right to that big fight with Larry Holmes. I don't know if he was ready for Larry, but he put on that was a great effort by Jerry Cooney. He almost out-jabbed the monster jabber.
How many amateur fights did he have?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Okay, where we at?
Let's see. Any more questions for the champ up here? Lyle was boxing really well versus Ali before he gassed out and got caught. Yes, truth. I mean, all those guys. I
can go forever, Bruce. But how long you got?
Oh, we're about an hour and a half. I'm ready to wrap it up whenever you are, champ.
Okay, so you want to do 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes?
Yeah. 5-10 more minutes.
Okay, come on, everybody. Come on. This is just the beginning. We had light yesterday, and this is I'm always on Bruce Gash's shows. We have a lot of knowledge, like we said before. Come on, Bruce. Let's get.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Henry Akinwande and Herbie Hyde? Should Akinwande be disqualified against Lewis? I don't think so. Well, he was grabbing Lewis, but what are your thoughts on Henry Akinwande from England?
See, Henry Akinwande was like, he was 6'10", 6'11".
Big guy.
Yeah, and I didn't see any really skills because he had long arms, and he'll shoot the jab, right hand, and stuff like that. I don't really like watching him because he was just a basic tall guy, uses jab and everything. So I don't know, Bruce. You would have to answer that one.
And how about let's see. Joe's got a question. When was the last time you met Jimmy Young before he passed away? He was a great fighter. Was he punch drunk?
No, not when I seen him. He wasn't punch drunk. Last time I seen him, I did see him outside, but I sparred with him before. And he was slick. Caught me in my solar plex, and I was like, whoa, he's turned right up the middle. But that was it. He was just he was wrenching around Philly, trying to get money here and there. He didn't have no money. And then I heard that he passed away. Boogaloo Watts was his cousin.
Okay. Jimmy Young versus Muhammad Ali. Yes, Jimmy Young. That was an interesting fight. Some people say Jimmy Young should have beat Ali that night, but I thought Ali edged him out. I thought Jimmy Young didn't act like he wanted the title. That was the problem there. Jimmy Young should have been more aggressive. I think he would have won that fight if he was. Tim, did Jeff Sims have anything left when you fought him?
I never fought Jeff Sims. Oh, wait a minute. I did. I knocked him out. What am I? Oh, Jeff Sims. Yeah, I knocked Jeff out. When he hit me, I felt he had power, but he didn't have those skills. He just was basic. He was basic, and I knocked him out. Yeah, Jeff Sims. Now, I thought you were talking about somebody else. We got like 3 minutes.
Yo, Tim, did you ever box with Riddick Bowe?
Never, but my brother Anthony did. My brother that was 12 or 13-0 with 13 straight knockouts. He sparred with him when he went to his camp and he was a sparring partner for Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was big-handed. He was like big-handed.
The Ali Norton fights. How many fights do you think Ali won? And by the way, today's the anniversary of tomorrow's the anniversary of the second fight when Ali won the title back from when he beat Ken Norton in the rematch. So do you think they were razor thin fights? I thought that the last fight, I thought Ken Norton won that fight hands down. I thought that was a gift for Ali. The other two fights, they were razor thin, especially the second fight. The first fight, gonna give it to Norton. Norton just came out of nowhere, broke Ali's jaw, out hustled him for 12 rounds.
He broke his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, okay, Bruce, tell them about your show because I'm gonna be on your show too. Brian, we getting ready to turn it in, okay?
Definitely.
I want to thank everybody. For tuning in. You're not going to get no better knowledge nowhere else but here. No, you can, but the best is here. So just tune in every time we put the posts up for the show to come on, okay? And I want to thank you very much. Go ahead, Bruce.
We appreciate that. This is a link for my channel. If anybody wants to come sub to me, I'm going to be speaking to Boxing Insider Rick Glazer tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. You know, Rick's a very controversial figure. He's one of the guys who's been in boxing since the early 90s. He's a matchmaker, a broker, 91. Yep. So it's going to be for a lot of fun. And then I always have a blast when I come on here. Brian invites me on here. I get to talk to my brother, the two-time heavyweight champ of the world, Tim Witherspoon. So please stop by tomorrow. Check me out and sub to the channel. If you like to donate, we never turn down a donation. Autographed pictures are available. Just get in touch with Tim. You can get an autographed picture, personally autographed. I got one over my shoulder, one of my prized possessions. And hey, man, thank you for having me on here.
Thank you. Go ahead, Brian.
Nope. Thanks for coming, everybody. Champ, go ahead, close it out, and then we'll get off the stream.
Thank you, everybody. Just tune in. We're gonna surprise you with a lot of stuff on our show, and then you're gonna see me. I'm gonna be on Bruce's shows. And just remember, love yourself first before you love anybody else. Okay? Thank you for coming.
All right. See you.
Peace.